Hello, welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name is Phoebe and welcome to this video. I have a video for you updating you on my flossy adventures about every 2 weeks. And so today I'm going to be talking about everything that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks. I think that I titled this video something about finishes because I had a lot of finishes this week. I had 2 starts and finishes. I finished my first heirloom piece that I started a while ago for my grandma Dorothy Lee. And so I want to share those finishes with you. I also have some fully finished objects. I have 3 of those. So we're going to be talking about a lot of finishes today. But I did have some new starts, like I said. Actually, I don't know if any of the new starts were not finished objects. So, but like every Christmas pattern I have right now, I just want to start it right now. So we might have a lot of starts next week or in the next video, we'll see. So we're going to talk about finishes, fully finishes, starts, then I'm going to get into my whips and I'll share with you everything that I've been stitching on. After that, I have a tiny bit of haul, just a little bit, and then we will talk about plans, everything that I'm going to be stitching on in the next couple weeks. We'll draw a couple random projects, and that's going to be kind of the order of this video. So I hope you've been having some time to stitch in the last couple weeks and just getting that stress relief that you need, and I hope you've been enjoying your time. I certainly have. So let's go ahead and get into those FFOs, and then we'll look at finishes. So my first fully finished object is the fox from The Year in the Woods from Cottage Garden Samplings. I finished this back in July and just finally fully finished it. So I stitched this on, I think it was some 16 or 18 count. So it's a little bit bigger of a pillow. Like here's my hand size. And here's the backing fabric. I just got that at Joann's. And then this is some chenille from Crescent Colors. He's all done and ready to be displayed for winter. I haven't rolled this guy in my Mania random draw with you guys, so I haven't started the swan yet, but I have it all ready to go. I'm going to put it on this same fabric and yeah, I'll finish it probably exactly the same way. So there is my first fully finished object. I just filled it with fiber fill and I followed, actually I didn't follow a tutorial this time, I just remembered what I did last time. But I think the original tutorial I followed was from Bonapfeiffer. My next fully finished object is this little pillow from, the design is from Little House Needleworks. And it just says joyfulness. And so I just, again, this is another finish that I had on my trip to London. And I just finished it into a pillow. Here's the backing fabric. And I have enough of this to do a bunch more of these designs if I want to. I don't think I have any other of them though, so I don't know. But it's stitched on, I think, just some 32 count like raw or something. And yeah, again, fiber fill. I didn't do any chenille this time. I don't know if I will later, maybe. And then when I close it, I just close it at the bottom. So yeah, I love it. It's so cute. I'm glad that I finally took the time to finish it. My third fully finished object is this nativity scene right here. This is a PDF download that I got from Etsy. Let me find the shop name. The shop is a new creation studio, and this one's called God With Us. And I like her finish a lot more than mine, but you know, I was finishing with what I had. I decided to just start and complete the project within like 3 hours. So I learned that finishing in this way that I did my previous ornament is a lot less, it's going to be a lot less circular with the Aida fabric because it just didn't want to bend as well as linen. And it's just on some navy, I think it's 14 count linen, and using, actually I did not use DMCs, I just pulled some overdyed from Stash. But I love the design and I wanted this to be my first ornament this year for my tree. And it just has some blue fabric. It just has cording around the inside, and I left that kind of frayed to look like the hay. And yeah, there it is. So just kind of rough and ready because I couldn't quite get that Ada to not want to do like an octagonal shape. So anyway, it's okay. I'm learning. So there's my third finish. So that last one was a start and a finish. This one was also a start and a finish, I think over the space of 2 days rather than just one. So this design is part of the Happy Holigays trio, I think, of designs from Hemlock and Rye. And this one says, make the Yuletide gay. And I decided instead of doing it in rainbow hues, I just wanted to use this Christmas colored sulky that I have. And here is the label in case you wanted to look that up. So it is a little bit hard to see, but the original design is actually a little bit hard to see as well because it switches colors, and I really wanted to use that sulky, so I am good with it. It is stitched on a piece of darker kind of sable blue that I over dyed, and yeah, this stitched up really fast because I wasn't changing any of my floss colors. This is on 40 count using this sulky, which I would probably not, I would do a 36 count or a 32 count with sulky, but yeah, so I'm going to make this into a little pillow. I actually am going to be stitching this again. I have 2 of them I'm wanting to make for Christmas. So we'll have this as a FFO in a later video, but I just wanted to share my finish of that. And if you're looking for some pride themed holiday presents for the LGBTQ person in your life, or for yourself, of course, you can check out Hemlock and Rye. There's 3 designs. Actually, I'll put them up on the screen here. It's just a PDF, but there's like 3 to choose from in that design. I'm very excited for this finish. This is my first red work piece for my heirloom wall, and this is Matter's Choice from Carriage House Samplings. I stitched it on this piece of kind of, it has gray, but the darker splotches are like some indigo mixed with black, and it's just got a whole fun wash of colors on there. And I stitched this with Mrs. Sada's silk in the color Rouge, which is this dark burgundy silk, just 1 strand over 2. This is 40 count, and I really, really love it. So it says Dorothy Lee Taysom. That's my maternal grandmother. Her birthday is June 9th. She was born in 1925 in Pocatello, Idaho. And so I did change the design a little bit for my own purposes here. This just has a whole like alphabet in there, but I put her name and birth date and place in there. And this was a very, very enjoyable pattern. I love it for a heritage wall. And I love how there's so many hearts in there. It's just so cute. It randomly has like beetles, or maybe they're supposed to be bees, but it's kind of funny. And so my grandma was the daughter of a jeweler. And last winter, I actually went up to Idaho to the site of my great-grandfather's jewelry store. That was so fun. We went up there in the snow, of course, and then I went over and saw their house that they lived in. So yeah, there is my finished design, and I just love it so much. And I have the design picked out for what I'm going to do for my paternal grandmother. I'm going to pop a picture up on the screen here. My maternal grandmother's name is Leona, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I'm going to do it monochromatically with red silk, and yeah, I'm very, very excited. Leona Bartlett was her name. So that's everything for my Finiship, my Feast of Finiship. Let's look at whips. So I do have a few projects that got progress on them, but were not finishes. That's what whips are, works in progress. So let's take a look at those. So on to my whips. We're going to start with my 2 threads a day project. This is Folksy Thomas from Teresa Kogut. I am stitching this with the called for flosses, which are mostly DMC And then there are a few over-dyed cottons, the green of the outlining of any of the green work, and then these two oranges are Sweet Potato and Carrot by Weeks, and this green is Tarragon, and they are what's mostly used. There's also chickpea and hazelnut in here in places too. So I am really loving this. Look at his cute little feet. I'm really loving it. So it looks like I am a little over half done because I've got to the both outside edges, and then I think it only goes down farther a little bit more to make a square. So I will pop up on the screen where I was in my last video before I decided that this was going to be my 2 threads a day. So I'm going to continue this all the way through the end of November, and then I will pick something Christmassy for the month of December. So this is stitched on a piece of 40 count over dyed by me to be this kind of sour apple green with variations of a little bit of rust in there. And I'm doing 1 strand over 2 on Folksy Thomas. One of the projects that we chose randomly for me to work on this last couple weeks was this I Know from Plum Street Samplers. And so I got a little bit more work done on it. I think I put in some more leaves, and I was working on this guy here. Not a ton. I think I only stitched on this for 1 day because I was looking forward more to stitching on some seasonal things. This is stitched on a piece of 40 count. I believe these are the called for flosses. So it's 1 strand over 2. And this is just a piece of fabric that I dyed that has some kind of rosy browns in it a little bit. I think I started with cream, but there's like 2 or 3 kind of neutral colors in this one. So that is my next whip. On the 10th of November, I stitched on my anniversary piece. As you can see, I'm getting so close to a finish. Mostly, I just need to fill in this area, and then there's just like a few spaces that need me to come in and put in a little bit more, but I think all of this was new this time. And this in here, I mean, I'm just getting so close, but I only stitch on it 1 day a month. So, I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe December will be the month that I finish it up. So, I'm stitching this with the called for DMC, which are gorgeous. And this is Pretty Little Hawaii from Satsuma Street. I have Pretty Little London, I think it's called, lined up for when I finish this as my next anniversary piece. And so I'm stitching this with 2 strands of floss, and I'm stitching it on this 14 count Ada that I got at like Michael's or something, that has this cloudy blue print on it already. So that is my progress. I'm going to zoom in on the part I was working on this last couple weeks. So, or not this, the 1 day that I worked on it in the last couple weeks. So, yep, I love it. My next whip is this project here. This is the Dutch Steps of Life from Gigi. This was the other one that we drew randomly for me to stitch on a bit in this 2 weeks. And which was perfect because November hashtag the attic loves GGR. Last month I was stitching on the Biedermeier sampler, and so this month this last 2 weeks I got back out this piece. So I believe I put in some more here. I finished these 2 characters. I don't know what she is. I keep thinking she's a penguin, but I think that's like a bonnet or something. And then I finished up all in here. Obviously the windmill's not completely done, but I did some more on that. So this piece is so funky. The original is so like washed out and grungy looking. And so I was going for a similar look when I dyed this piece of fabric. Let me zoom out. I wanted it to still be dirty and antique-y looking, so there's a lot of greens and teals in here and brown. And so it's really interesting at play with the flosses that I chose. These are my own flosses. A number of them are flosses that I've hand dyed, and then there's a few other things in here that I didn't, like Picket Fence, for example. And I also have a Roxy Floss Co. This is called Chick. So here's the color palette I'm playing with. This was based off of the DMC list. So yeah, that's the progress that I got on Dutch Steps of Life for my hashtag The Attic Loves GGR. This is 40 count fabric, and so I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. On the 13th, I did some Halloween stitching. So I picked back up my Supernatural Sal from the Witchy Stitcher. This piece is stitched on, it's 14 or 16 count Aida that I've over dyed with this kind of marshmallow coloration, creme brulee kind of coloration. So the last time I picked this up, this guy was halfway done, so I finished him up, and then I completely finished the harpy. I'll zoom in a second, and then I put the border in for this next guy over here, which I can't remember if he's the vampire, but anyway, so here's everything that's done so far. The top 2 rows, and then getting pretty good on that 3rd row. And let me zoom in on these characters now. So there's the gnome. He's got his cute little mushrooms. I love him. He's probably one of my favorites because of those mushrooms, even though there's French knots in there. And then the harpy is pretty cute too. I think of harpy as being much more of like a humanoid creature, but I think he's really, really cute. So that is the progress that I got for my Dark 13 stitching, where we stitched something kind of spooky or Halloween. And this is using the called for DMCs. And like I said, this is like a 14 count Aida, so I'm using 2 strands of floss over 1. I also stitched on my 2023 birthday start this week. I stitched on this on the 7th. And so this is vintage stitches from Jeannette Douglas. I just adore her. And I'm using all the called for flosses. So there's a lot of MPIs, there's some Soie d'Alger, there's Gloriana, Thread Gatherer. I just got one that I was missing. I just got it this week. This is Ozark Spring from Silken Colors Thread Gatherer. And so I'll be able to put this in. Here's all the beautiful flosses. So pretty. So what did I do this time? I think that I put in all these guys this time. And I think that I put in a little bit more, like I added the back stitching on the vine work. That's probably mostly it. So I think I was missing this floss. This might be Ozark Spring, and then I'll be able to finish up this space and move outward. So I'm loving it so much. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count Lugana that I over dyed. Here's how it looks. It's just smoky and just really, really enjoying it. So yeah, that's everything I got done on this guy. I'm gonna take a moment to tell you what's on my nails. This is Somebody Kiss Me. And this is coming as the doorbuster for our Black Friday sale, which starts this Thursday. So my nail polish brand is Moonshine Mani. You always see me wearing different polish in my videos. And so this is a polish I created as the doorbuster for our Black Friday event. Our whole website is going to be 30% off. And all of the limited edition items that I made especially for the event are inspired by Matthew Perry's role as Chandler Bing in celebration of his life and how much his role in that show meant to me. And so that's starting on this Thursday, Thanksgiving morning at 9 a.m. There are a number of new limited edition items to collect. There are also gifts with purchases, so you can check out the Moonshine Mani Fans Facebook group for more information on that. And I'll link everything on that in the description bar below. The final whip that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks is Jack's Bash from Plum Street Samplers. I wasn't ready to put this away for the season yet, but I probably will now because we're getting so close to December. But I love this piece so much, especially because the variegated flosses that I'm using just make it really come to life, and I'm enjoying it so much. So like this whole flower and this flower, those use a variegated floss called Autumn Nuit? I'm not sure. Autumn Night from Silken Colors, the Thread Gatherer, and look at all of those yummy autumn shades. So I had picked this up at some point, I think when I was at Shepherd's Bush, just because I thought it was so beautiful. And then when I started this pattern, I knew it was the perfect one to put in place of that color there. It's standing in for Sarsaparilla from the Gentle Art, and none of the colors I'm using are called for. The other highly variegated shade that I'm using that I think is making a big impact on the design is this one here. This is Big Sur from Threadworks, and I got myself a big 20-yard skein of it because I'm using it for a lot of stuff. So it's the outside border, it's this guy, and then it's a lot of in the flowers and stuff too. It's inside of this house if you want to see the color more fully. So loving that. That one is making a big impact. This Gloriana Autumn Gold is standing in place for Brandy. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love those colors so much. So I just couldn't not use these in such a beautiful autumnal piece. This Autumn Gold unfortunately is not pulling in so much. It's here, a little bit in here, here. But yeah, this one is the Autumn Night from Silken Colors as well. I also have some Brandy's Bestitch Me. I have some Vicki Clayton. I have Forbidden Fiber Co. Copper in here. I have Attic Tea from Classic Colorworks Belsois. This is a shade that I overdyed that's gray with some rusty color in it. This one is my standing in for Gentle Arts Raven. This is India ink from Gloriana, and it is fraying so much. I need to put this in a floss away bag. This is White Sand from JU Design. And we have Tortoiseshell from the Gentle Arts, another Vicki Clayton. And finally, Classic Colorworks Barrel Cactus for another one of the gray. So I guess when I went to kit this up, I just really wanted to start it right then, and I didn't have any of the colors, so I just picked all of my own. This is stitched on a piece of fabric that I overdyed. It is really warm and dark and kind of perfect for this, so I'm loving it so much. I believe this time I did most of this, and I extended the borders more. Oh, and this was super enjoyable, ha ha ha, JK. This over one on 40 count, I had to actually put my magnifiers on and hold my fabric super close to my face so that I could see that. And that black India ink from Gloriana did not love me on that. So anyway, let me pull across so you can see. I love how this little window has yellow in it. Isn't that so cute? So the top border's done. And now I'm moving down the side. So if you would like to know these flosses, send me a message. You can reach me on, I actually have 3 Instagram accounts. One is for this YouTube channel, Moonshine Stitchery. I also have Moonshine Manny, which is my nail polish brand. And I also just have Phoebe Moon 14, which is where I usually am at, and that's for my nail polish YouTube channel. So you can reach out to me any of those places, or there's an email in the description bar below. And I can get you any of my conversions if you are interested in any of them. So like I said, I just have a little bit of haul. I have one physical pattern from Satsuma Street. It's this one here. This is Otoño, and I just think this is gorgeous. I picked up Invierno when I was at Shepherd's Bush, I think the last time, but I saw somebody finish Otoño recently, and it is just stunning. So I just snagged it. I forget. I think I was picking up like some strand of floss or something that I needed, and I needed more black coffee and more of another shade for my Halloween Quaker. So yeah, I just snagged it while I was at it. And then I have 2 PDF patterns. They are both Christmas related because all the things, I saw both of them in the, I think, Unlimited, Cross Stitch Unlimited group on Facebook, I think, or maybe one was in During Jones' Facebook group. But I will link down below where you can go to pick them up. They are just adorable, and they were both very budget friendly. So I am super excited to start something from both of these downloads. And that's pretty much my haul. I think I got a couple pieces of floss, but I don't know if we'll go through them. So, all right, so that's haul. So next I'm just gonna do a holiday stitching chart parade because I love it when people do these. It gives me more ideas about what I wanna be stitching on. So I'm just gonna pop a little music in here for you and flip through these charts. Next, we're going to talk about plans. So I'm excited to share with you everything that I anticipate stitching on in the next couple weeks. And then I think I'll have some starts, which will be surprises to you. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at plans. This one is my major plan for the next 2 weeks. I will be starting this on the 23rd. I was invited to stitch this with Jan from Hoop It Up with Jan. She and I are both Teresa Kogut lovers, and I believe that there are a few other people that are starting this on that day. So if you want a great reason to start this beautiful new chart from Teresa Kogut, you could start it on Thanksgiving with us. I don't know if there's a hashtag or anything. This booklet also has these designs down here, but I'm going to be starting this one. So that means this week I need to kit it up. It's mostly DMC with some classic colorworks and weeks. I will see which of these I have, and then if I don't have them, I will kit it up from stash to try to stay as close as possible. Oh, I love the blues in here. They are so good. So that's my first start, or that will be one of at least 2 starts in the next 2 weeks. So other than that, on the 25th, I will be stitching something Christmassy. On the 30th, I will be stitching my Blackberry house. I'll put it up on the screen here, which is my project that I stitch on my daughter Joy's birthday. And then the 4th is when I will be working on my next video, so we won't have my 4th of July stitching in that video, but the next one. And I am getting so close to a finish on Salute to Abigail, but we won't see that in the next one. So besides that, I will, I'm sure, have a couple of Christmas starts. I'm really excited to just start a bunch of ornaments. And here is my list of Mania 2023. So I draw 2 random projects with you during my videos. One is from this list of Mania. So let me pull open my random number generator. So the things with dots are things that I've finished. So we always pick a project and see what comes up. Number 23, 1993 Santa. Okay, well, I just recently had that one come up, but we can do it again. And it is Christmas time almost, so that will be fun. The next random project will be chosen from this app. This is the Tiny Decisions app, and I made a wheel that has all of my whips in it, not just Mania. And so I draw 1 from the Mania list and 1 from here. So let's see what comes up. Wow. That's fortuitous because I was already going to do that anyway. So this is the piece that I was going to stitch on in the next 2 weeks already for the Attic Loves GGR, for the Biedermeier sampler from GGR. I'll put that up on the screen so you guys remember. I love that piece. It is absolutely stunning. So that's very exciting. Besides that, you will probably see a little bit more autumn stitching from me in the next video, and then we'll be like full steam ahead on holiday, Christmas stitching, all that goodness. So that pretty much concludes my plans. I'll probably be picking at least one thing out of here. This Christmas ornament magazine is really good. There are more things in this magazine that I would stitch than I wouldn't. These are all just like really traditional, not specific designs, so that would be really nice to pick one of those. And then we have, it says Homespun Holiday down here. Super cute. Then over here we have Ho Ho Ho. So these are Santa designs. Oh, look at this one. That's so cute. And then Merry and Bright. And Tidings of Joy. I already pointed out that one. I think I would stitch all of these. And then Christmas Remembered. I like a lot of these. Oh, this one too. It's similar to the other one, but it's stained glass. It's so cute. And then we have these ones, Deck the Halls. I really love that and that. I would probably stitch all of those. Not like super hype crazy about snowmen, so I'd probably skip all the snowmen. And then we have Child at Heart. I like the snow globe. The cats playing around are pretty cute. And then Winter Wonderland. I really like the patchwork kind of tree here. Actually, I would stitch all of these. So yeah, there's so much in here that I would stitch. So I'll start at least one from this magazine. And I will probably, man, I was thinking about doing a lot of Aida stitching for ornaments this year, but I don't know. It was a pain to lace that Aida, so. Do you guys have any tips for me on making my Aida less cornery? Okay, yeah. All right, that's it for plans. All right, well, that is gonna wrap it up for this video. If you have made it to this point in the video and you are wondering if I have any kind of life update or anything like that for you, if you really want to see more from me or like my fam, I did start vlogging. It's been like 6 weeks. So on my other channel, okay, so actually I have a number of channels, but on my Phoebe Moon channel, so that's my name, Phoebe, my last name is Moon, I have vlogs on there where you can go see what we've been up to for the week. So you can check that out as well if you want any kind of life update or just what we've been doing with ourselves. So anyway, happy holidays to you. I hope that you enjoy the beautiful time of year that we're in and you find peace and love and some solace, especially if this is a hard time for you. Sending out my love to you. I appreciate you stopping by for this video. I will see you back in 2 weeks. Take care until then. Bye.